Welcome back to another video, guys. Uh, Hopefully you can hear me over the fan, but we're going to talk about these cylinder heads from the 32 valve 4.6. So my dad, mad scientist, who isn't here currently, but will be back, found a few things with the heads and worked on this stuff off camera. So sorry I don't have any video footage of him tearing anything apart or what he found or anything, but he did find that some of the bores have some slight pitting. This one's got the most amount of show on it, but that's why it probably smoked a little bit before. But also, I was talking about the valve springs. You can see the rust on here. Seems like we mostly had issues with the intake valve springs. You can see there's a broken spring there. There's a let's see if I can get a better shot here. There's a broken spring there. This is the valve spring that you can literally wiggle with your fingers. I'm literally wiggling it. It's hard to show it, but that's a bad valve spring. So yeah, found the issue with his motor. We're gonna be in talks with him and see what he wants to do. We could throw those heads on it and just make it run, or put some new valve springs in these heads. All right, here's the dealio, peeps. We're gonna be using this skid steer. We're gonna use it to lift this motor out of here because it's kind of far back in the bed for the cherry picker. And we're gonna clean this mess up here, try and get this out, and we're gonna tear down this motor. Okay, I got the back of the truck cleaned out. Dad helped me. I kind of skipped through it. We had to get a table set up. So we're gonna lift this motor out now. Okay guys, we got the engine out. It's on the ground now. The other engine parts are over there. We're gonna start disassembling this engine. Remove the transmission, put it up on an engine stand and disassemble it and see how this engine looks. Hopefully we can make one good whole engine. Okay guys, we got the transmission removed. Clutch looks a little bit crustier than the other one did. This motor and transmission's been sitting around a lot longer. So, but this transmission is hopefully good, because I think we're gonna try and use this one. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this clutch pressure plate off, inspect the actual clutch down in there, and inspect the flywheel. I can already see to expect some rust here. All right, so there's already a big difference in the blocks so far. This is an 8-bolt crank block. The other one was a 6-bolt. So there's a big difference there. I think the clutch size is different too. I believe that's an 11-inch. That's probably a 10.5. I'll go ahead and measure it real quick. Okay, just like I thought, this is an 11-inch clutch. I accidentally got a little bit of grease on there. Oh well. This clutch, well, they're both 11-inch. It looks like. I don't know where the actual clutch went for that. For that one. Anyway, I guess they're both 11-inch. I know GT46s had a 10.5 option or an 11-inch option. Or maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. Anyway, I'm gonna rip these headers off before I mount it up on the engine stand. Or actually, I could just mount it up on the engine stand. We're gonna tear it down just like we did the other engine and see what we find wrong with this engine. Hopefully we don't find anything wrong with it. There's the old engine over there. The new transmission, the old transmission. I'm gonna set up another table right here. We're gonna have the old engine parts, new engine parts. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to show this here, but the valves are pretty gunky. So like I said, this motor's been sitting around. That one's clean. That one's filthy. Clean, filthy. Looks like all the round port ones are completely filthy. And these little square port ones are clean. And that's because the injector sprays in those ports. So far that's all I found. I'm gonna keep doing updates like this instead of the last one where I just fast forwarded everything. So I'm gonna rip the valve covers off now. Okay, so valve springs look much better, and the inside of the heads are not rusty like the other one was. So far, this engine is cleaner in that sense, but there's kind of a metallic powder all over everything, and if I wipe my finger, I get like a, in some spots it looks like anti-seize. Right there. See all that metallic shit on the tip of my finger? That's all over the cams and rollers and stuff. So I'm not sure what that is. That's kind of concerning. But overall, this one has no rust or anything, so I'm happier with that aspect. But both sides pretty much look the same. There's like some like gunk built up on the rollers, like right here. There's a bunch of metallic metal pieces all over the valve train. So, not sure what that is, kind of concerning. I see it's got what looks to be different bolts along the bottom here, new bolts maybe. Same on this side. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way, but I did notice it's got like new Velcro gaskets, or newer, especially if you look down in the head. You can see the little blue tab down there from the head gasket. I believe those are Velcro gaskets, so I think that's brand new. And my older brother Joe installed this one, this water pump, so that's brand new. And he might have did the valve cover gaskets because those look brand new. But we're just gonna keep digging and see what we find here. Maybe we find something, some carnage, maybe not. I don't know yet. We're about to find out. All right, so far I've found really nothing wrong. This, I think, is a fresh rebuild. It's got a bunch of silicone all over the timing gasket. I don't know if it was actually rebuilt because these guides don't necessarily look new. So maybe they left the guides alone. There's also this weird powder right here. Not sure what that is. It's kind of weird. But I saw a liquid sitting down in the pan, so I was like, let me drain it. And actually it looked like it was like fresh, brand new oil. It was gold as gold could be. And I didn't see anything in it, no water or anything, so that's literally perfect. Now I don't know if I necessarily want to tear this motor all the way down. I think I'm going to pull the spark plugs and see what we got going on in there. And then I'm going to be discussing with my older brother, since this is his project, what he wants to do, because the other heads need valve springs and valves. So at this point we're just, does he want to use these heads? Does he want to use these springs and valves? I recommend running new springs and valves, but I mean, technically you could run these. But I'm gonna pull these spark plugs out and take a look in the cylinders, and we're just gonna see what it looks like. So what I did find, every single cylinder has quite a bit of carbon buildup on the top of the piston. A couple of them are half clean, and majority of them have moisture or water. Some of them have more than others, so that's concerning. But it doesn't look like there's any rust, at least in most of them, maybe one of them. And I'm thinking maybe there was some water in here, and then I pulled the spark plug out and the water fell in. So because the spark plugs were definitely all wet on the top here, right where it seats. So I'm just guessing that there was water sitting in the spark plug holes, and I just just now when I took the spark plugs out, I let the water out. So far, the engine looks pretty good. Call this a video for the day. I gotta go to work soon. So we're gonna keep doing more videos about these 32 valve 4.6s and this whole project for my older brother. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, share it. Thank you.